All right, here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category 5.tv newsroom. Mark Shuttleworth has revealed that Ubuntu 18.04 will get a 10-year support lifespan. A database leak exposed millions of two-factor codes and reset links sent by SMS. Nvidia stocks have dropped to the worst it's been in 10 years. And NASA has successfully tested Osiris Rex's robotic arm ahead of its arrival at a giant asteroid millions of miles away. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Category 5.tv newsroom, covering the week's top tech stories with a slight Linux bias.
Jeff Weston.
Yeah, man.
You're building a brand new, beautiful website.
What?
Aren't you?
No. Am I?
Oh, you're a terrible actor.
What?
This is where acting comes into play.
Oh, I didn't know we were acting.
You're supposed to act.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, I'm building a really cool website. Are you building a really cool website? Just because Jeff is confused doesn't mean you have to be. Visit cat5.tv/dreamhost to sign up for unlimited web hosting for your website with unlimited email accounts, MySQL databases, the latest version of PHP, WordPress, and more, and even a free domain name registration. It's less than $6 per month, so sign up today. cat5.tv/dreamhost.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. Mark Shuttleworth has revealed that Ubuntu 18.04 will get a 10-year support lifespan. At OpenStack Summit in Berlin, Canonical and Ubuntu founder Mark Shuttleworth said in a keynote that Ubuntu 18.04's long-term support lifespan would be extended from 5 years to 10 years. Ubuntu 18.04 released in April 2018. While the Ubuntu desktop gets most of the ink, most of Canonical's dollars come from server and cloud customers. It's for these corporate users Canonical first extended Ubuntu's 12.04 security support, then Ubuntu's 14.04 support, and now preemptively Ubuntu 18.04. In an interview after the keynote, Shuttleworth said Ubuntu 16.04, which is scheduled to reach its end of life in April 2021, will also be given a longer support lifespan. Shuttleworth also said in his keynote that in the past 2 years, Canonical had been getting Red Hat customers coming Ubuntu's way. He explained that companies have been coming to Canonical not to replace existing Red Hat Enterprise Linux or OpenShift deployments, but to expand into new technology areas such as the Internet of Things, edge computing, and machine learning or artificial intelligence. However, Shuttleworth foresees IBM buying Red Hat may lead to customers switching to Ubuntu. He says, we're neutral on the public cloud. We work at an arm's length with AWS, Azure, and Google. We provide a common currency across different environments, but we're not the lowest common denominator. We want to be the best operating system on Azure for Azure and AWS for AWS, and so on. He also disclosed that Canonical is still aiming at going public in 2019. This is not on a set schedule. Instead, it will happen when the company meets the metrics he's set. Before Canonical IPOs, he plans on bringing in growth equity from private equity companies. Shuttleworth has started talking with private equity advisors to get things ready to bring in a cash infusion. So, all in all, Shuttleworth sees a bright future ahead for both Canonical and its underlying Ubuntu Linux container and cloud technologies.
Wow, it really sounds like he's stepped down, hasn't it?
He has got such ambition and such confidence, and I like it.
Yes.
Yes. I am excited for them to go public. I know that he's set the standard high, but when he goes public, that means I can buy stocks, right? In the company, and I would feel really good buying stocks in his company because I know how much he cares.
Exactly.
Right. So.
And he's a visionary.
Yeah.
And I love visionaries who actually take action. And he's proven that. When he was on our show back like season 3, season 4 years ago.
No.
He Canonical was young and compared to what it is now. And Mark said that he was working toward bringing Ubuntu to the phone platform and making that happen. Exactly. And he did, and it failed, but it was an effort that made ripples in the Linux landscape.
Right.
And is now, even now, right now, and into 2019, making changes even though Canonical has put that aside, it's happening.
Right.
We're seeing Linux on the smartphone. We're seeing Linux on the tablet.
It's
Exactly.
true.
Yeah,
He kind of planted the seed.
absolutely. And created some code.
Yeah,
Created
exactly.
some excellent code.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for him extending the support lifespan,
Yeah.
does that bring then, like for me, it would bring more confidence to me. Because I
sure.
know now I won't
Well-
have to switch. Would you have to switch
But you're
over?
an end user.
Right.
So if you as an end user install Ubuntu Linux on your computer, and then it comes to end of life, it's pretty easy to modify your sources list to the next
Totally.
version, do an apt update, an apt upgrade, followed by an apt dist upgrade, and it will roll up to the next version of Ubuntu.
Okay.
However, in enterprise environments, so we're talking big business,
Yeah.
banking and cloud infrastructure, and Ubuntu Canonical are big on cloud infrastructure. In those businesses, it's really hard to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade and
Yeah.
roll up and roll up and roll up and reboot servers, and
Exactly.
it's really tough. So having a really good long-term support means a couple of things. First of all, the rolling release cycle of fixes and patches and security things are going to continue for many, many years. 10 years.
10 years is
10
great.
years.
That's
an operating system.
Imagine if I installed an operating system on my server and I know that it has the latest and greatest security patches for the next 10 years. That's what he's proposing.
Right.
That's what he's doing.
that lowers blood pressure.
And it makes things a lot easier from the IT standpoint. It gives us peace
Yeah.
of mind, and it saves our company a ton of money
And sweat.
and sweat.
Trying to get
Yeah.
things to work.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the target of that move. Not the end user, not the person running it on their laptop, because you can easily back up your home folder, reinstall the brand new version, or do a roll up using
Totally.
apt.
Right.
But it's
So-
the
but
server
it's the-
environment, it's the clouds, it's
Yeah.
the Azure platforms, the virtual appliances, the Internet of Things. How can I upgrade the OS in my
Fridge.
smart fridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, like who knows,
One
right?
day, it's just Wi-Fi.
That's what he's pushing toward. So imagine
Yeah.
you buy a toaster that's smart and it's powered by Ubuntu now. And it has security
toasters.
patches for 10 years. So as these exploits come out for smart devices, which we're hearing a lot more about,
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
they can push out security patches for those devices for 10 more years.
Therefore, in the
Love
present,
it.
those companies are going to invest in Ubuntu, right?
Exactly. I will buy stocks.
Precisely.
I will tell you that now, Mark. I will buy stocks.
Committed now.
There you go.
Yeah,
I think we
doing
all
it.
will. I think we all will.
A database leak exposed millions of two-factor codes and reset links sent by SMS. Millions of SMS text messages, mainly containing one-time passcodes, password reset links, and plain text passwords, were exposed in an internet-accessible database that could be read or monitored by anyone who knew where to look. The discovery comes after years of rebukes from security practitioners that text messages are a woefully unsuitable medium for transmitting two-factor authentication data. Despite those rebukes, SMS-based 2FA continues to be offered by banks such as Bank of America, cellular carriers such as T-Mobile, and a host of other businesses. The leaky database belonged to Voxox, a service that claims to process billions of calls and text messages monthly. The database stored texts that were sent through a gateway Voxox provided to businesses that wanted an automated way to send data for password resets and other types of account management by SMS. The database provided a portal that showed two-factor codes and resent links being sent in near real time, making it potentially possible for attackers who accessed the server to obtain data that would help them hijack other people's accounts. The database ran on Amazon's Elasticsearch and was configured with Kibana front end to make the phone numbers, names, and other contents easy to browse and search. Voxox locked down the database after TechCrunch privately reported the issue prior to informing the public of their findings.
Yikes.
So,
Oh, yeah, let's put a front end on this data leak. Let's make it easy to search.
Yeah.
Wow.
doodle-doodle-doo. Okay, so two-factor authentication. I trust it, right? Like I have it for my Steam account, And so when I go to
It
log
comes in
into my
by
Steam,
SMS?
yes, when I go, I try to log into my Steam, and then it says enter your passcode, and then I get a text, and there's my passcode, and it changes every time, and I type
Right.
it in, and so is this what the story is talking about?
Yes, but I think the only reason this would be an issue is if the provider sending the SMS for the 2FA, two-factor authentication code, doesn't expire those codes.
This is true.
When I'm dealing with my bank, my two-factor authentication code expires after 30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I do not use it, if I do not log in immediately, I won't be able to use that code.
Yeah, you
I'd
don't
have
have
to
Right.
request the login.
Exactly, right?
And remember, this is two-factor authentication. This is not something that
Just.
somebody could go into your
Yeah.
online banking, hacking this database, and enter your info and then access the two-factor authentication code because they don't know your password. So they'd have to know your password first. That's the first-factor authentication.
Right.
Username, password.
Right.
Then
and then
the
that.
two-factor authentication.
So I can
Yeah.
trust two-factor authentication by and large.
Well, I hope that your provider expires those tokens.
We're
How
supposed-
would I know that?
I don't know that you can. I think it's just
So-
good security practice. So
like we're
So I just
I
have to
can't
hope
imagine
that somebody
anyone
like
doesn't.
was it TechCrunch or like I just have,
TechCrunch revealed.
right.
this
is an
So
issue.
if they revealed it, that means that they're aggressively searching out issues. I just have to trust in them that I do
In
trust it.
TechCrunch?
Yeah, in finding all of the
No.
no.
Well, they're a magazine.
yeah.
Oh, so
News,
so
yeah.
then who finds out when there's a problem?
White hat hackers.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Or
Right.
black hat hackers.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, like you have like a different few ways of like solving the problem, right? Because like a lot of things, like you said, for Steam has two-factor authentication, right? There's other sites like Facebook, whatever. There's actual apps that you can use as well.
Right.
So like with Steam, if you log in on your computer, your actual mobile app handles everything, so it stays within like the Valve Corporation. So it doesn't
Right.
have to go to
Oh,
your
okay.
cell provider in the first place. Same with Facebook, right? So it stays within their app ecosystem.
Oh,
But
okay.
as soon as like you send your data out somewhere else onto a different server,
That's
and then
the
that's-
issue.
yeah.
That's
that's
see,
Yeah.
and that's where I get scared because, like, I know in lots of ways I'm not like the most educated person about stuff like this, so I trust two-factor authentication
Sure.
because it feels like it's an extra step. So then, because there's the extra step, I just feel like, okay, well, I'm good.
If you need your phone in order to
Right.
log in,
yeah.
how can anyone else log in without your phone?
Right. So this is where I'm finding a hard, like every time I do a news story where there's a data leak or there's a security blunder of some sort, I think to myself, okay, well, this, not that it doesn't affect me, but that I can see how I can change things. Like I can change my password on my router. Or I can change, right? But in this case, I trust very heavily in two-factor
Kinda have to.
authentication.
Yeah. So token-based, using a device, you can actually buy devices that show you a number that expires after 30 seconds.
Okay.
Those are ways to do it. ESET
Yeah.
Secure Authentication is a server application that you can install that accesses your Active Directory and it allows you to use one of those devices on various platforms. And you know, there's so much that can be done in big business, but for us novice users just trying to get access to our online banking, we do kind of have to trust that they're doing it right.
Right.
The FOO reminds us about smartphone SIM cloning, which is another issue where, and even SIM fraud in that you've mentioned it before, someone can go into AT&T and say,
have the swap
I'm
it.
Sasha Rickman and I lost my phone and I need to activate this new phone, so give me a new SIM.
Yes.
And then they do it and they fall for that. Social
sir.
engineering. And I think it again comes down to education, and it's brutal. We're in this transitional time where things aren't perfect, Sash. We just
No.
got to be real smart, real careful, watch your accounts.
But it's really hard. Even like
Oh, yeah.
even last week as I was leaving the show, I got a weird text. It turns out it was safe. But it could have
oh,
been
really?
it could have
Very
been a
safe and
phishing
sorry.
scheme because it was just a text message
It
and
was
it said
generic, and it was
yeah,
Yeah.
hi, call me. I want to talk to you about Christmas. And then there was like a little emoji.
Oh,
But the number wasn't
An
saved in my
emoji.
phone, and was an emoji of Santa,
Okay.
right?
Oh.
So, who wanted to talk
Could
to me
have been
about
anyone.
Christmas? It could have been anybody. It
Could
didn't
have
mention
been
who
some
they were or
fraudster.
anything.
And as soon
so,
as you reply,
Or an elf.
they've got your info.
exactly, but
They've
Could have been
checked
an
you
elf,
off
man.
on
Come on.
it was one of Dave's family members who has my number, but I don't have their number
Oh,
saved
okay.
in. So luckily, I went
Nice.
home and I checked. But before I left here, I asked, is this something I should respond to?
And I'd be very wary.
exactly, yeah, because you shouldn't
Especially
just
if you don't normally receive texts from that person.
never. That was the first one. Okay.
How crazy. You gotta
Oh.
be careful.
Nvidia stock has dropped to the worst it's been in 10 years. Nvidia lost a gigantic $23 billion in market cap in a single 24-hour period on Friday, dropping more than 30%. Why? Well, there are many reasons, with some claiming it was the cryptocurrency mining bubble popping, but it seems the various issues with the newly launched GeForce RTX series being the center focus for Nvidia right now. Nvidia stock dropped heavily after the company posted their Q3 earnings report, which saw the company missing revenue estimates. The sales channel is filled with GTX 10 series graphics cards and the overpriced RTX series that seems to have fallen flat with gamers. There have been many problems with the RTX cards, and there aren't that many gamers that really take advantage of the features. Then, games with RTX support like Battlefield 5 are plagued with issues and underwhelming performance. CNBC's Jim Cramer says Nvidia made a serious misjudgment about the level of demand for their product. And after that, Nvidia's in the penalty box for a very long time.
That's rough.
Ouch.
So,
It's a lot of money.
If it has to do with cryptocurrency mining,
yeah.
because this is what happened, right? Like stock of cards was like depleted
Yeah.
because people were crypto mining.
They're buying
So
them
they
up.
needed all
buying
the
all
cards.
the cards,
Yeah.
and now there's no
Yep.
cards available for gamers. So if that's the case, so Nvidia will flood the market
market.
with cards, and cards that work very well for crypto mining.
Right.
Because they know who they're trying to appeal to right now.
Right.
And then if that mining bubble stops,
Well, here's the thing too, is that NVIDIA cards, like, they're such fine-tuned machines that when you try to get like thousands of them produced at a time, you're rushing them.
Yeah.
All it takes is to forget one little wire or like one little something, and those
Soldering
cards exactly.
one cold solder joint.
You know,
Right.
it's like error.
I shouldn't
Oh,
beat myself
screen.
up.
No.
I know.
Nice. But yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And I think once you've bought your card, like I've got my cards and I'm not going out and buying another one, but I bought during the boom.
Right.
I bought just before the boom. I got like a 1060. Just before like it
nice.
really got like huge. I want to go back and get a 1080.
You got a 1070.
That's
Fight!
And I got
The
mine
giggles.
just before. Like, it went up in price
Look at that.
immediately
I got
after.
an RX 560.
Yeah.
It works.
It works.
I know. It's hard for a company
300
like
hashes
that.
a second, you know what?
Yeah. It's hard for a company like that because I feel like they're actually they're a great company. It's just now their stock has plummeted. So what do they have to? Once you lose $23 billion, what do you have?
That's brutal. How do you just, where the heck did that $23 billion go?
I know.
Oh, my God.
I've never even had $1 billion.
If I had
Never.
$1 billion.
Or 32 of them.
Yeah, I know,
That's a
right?
lot of craft dinner.
This is true.
NASA has successfully tested Osiris Rex's robotic arm ahead of its arrival at a giant asteroid millions of miles away. NASA's spacecraft Osiris Rex is nearing its destination and it's starting to stretch out. The craft successfully tested its touch-and-go sample acquisition mechanism, which is TAGSAM, a robotic arm that will allow it to grab samples from the surface of the asteroid Bennu. According to NASA, the test run went as planned. Osiris Rex, with the help of engineers from Lockheed Martin, showed off the full range of motion of its arm. It flexed its shoulder, elbow, and wrist joints, all while hurtling through space. The test success was confirmed by telemetry data and photos captured by an onboard camera. TAGSAM will be essentially for Osiris Rex to complete its mission. The craft will use the robotic arm to collect a couple of ounces of loose dirt and rock from the surface of Bennu. Researchers hope that the sample of regolith from the carbon-rich space rock might hold some hints about the beginning of the solar system and the building blocks of life. Osiris Rex is expected to reach Bennu on December 3rd. It will spend 2 years studying and mapping the 1,650-foot asteroid before finally scooping up the sample it was sent to retrieve. Then it will make its way back to Earth. The spacecraft is expected back on this planet in 2023. In the meantime, it's already sent back some pretty impressive photos from its trip 3 million miles away.
Wouldn't it be disappointing if they're just like, this is just dirt?
Yeah, there's some
I'm just waiting for the day, like 100 years from now, where it's just like it's commonplace just to go up to space, just be like, oh, it's got like some like dirt and brought it home. Like that's all it really is. Although it has an awesome name, Rex. Like that's,
yes, I really want to do a follow-up story on this.
In 2023.
Can you just set yourself a 2023 memo? Like
a reminder.
Just a reminder so that we can come back and be like, so Osiris Rex is returned.
Is it?
And
space.
Just want to be sure before I say it out loud.
Hacking into the satellites.
FutureMe.org.
Dear future me.
FutureMe.org. Write a letter to the future.
Okay.
So you can do that.
I would like to do a follow-up on this story because I would like to know what happens upon return. I want to know.
It was just dirt. It
Bennu.
had microorganisms that took out the human race.
Bennu. Yeah, that's right. Or I saw, what was that? There was the movie and there was the really weird.
Oh, good. We're going to bring movies into this.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to describe it properly. It was a movie about like aliens and language. Do you remember? And there was
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Oh.
A lie? I don't know.
Yeah, it was one word, and it had a girl in it.
Yeah.
How many syllables?
It's not arrival. It's like
Something like
But it's about language.
Yeah.
everybody comment below.
they're like in the big rock ships, and they're
What's and I remember the poster was like this spaceship that's like this, and the
I
lady's
know,
just
it's so
there,
cool.
and then it's like, I
chat.
never
Please,
saw
So
it.
who
please
know-
help us
okay.
out. What's it called?
So,
Dear Future Me, what's that movie with the aliens?
well, right. So let's say we bring back some dirt from Bennu, and we like create these like cool extraterrestrial like antibiotics or something.
What could come of this? And it's like, okay, it's cool. It's research, science. You got the answer?
Arrival.
Arrival. I knew it was like
Thank you.
awake or oh, yeah.
It was
something
one
like that.
word, and it had a girl in it.
I want this thing. I want Mars.
You want Mars. You want.
I want something
Elon.
more.
Osiris Rex
Elon.
is busy right now.
This is going to be 2.5
But upon-
years of waiting for this thing to just get a cup of dirt.
Yeah, but that cup of dirt can help us with technologies.
That's kind of
that
like.
can
You
help us
think
with
so?
Mars, no, but it feels
No.
good. Okay, it makes you feel
It's just
cool.
a space junk
I don't
flying.
know.
Let
through
Elon
space.
Musk
I
do the
feel
Mars
like
stuff.
that's like me saying you just sit at your desk typing on the keyboard all day. Like that's all. Like,
That's all I do.
but you do more than
I take
that,
calls.
right? So it's going
take
up there.
calls.
It's going up there, and it's going to check the surface of this asteroid, and it's going to bring back a sample of not Earth dirt, which is different because all
Fair
the dirt
enough.
we've ever seen is Earth dirt. So, I mean, it might be
Space
exactly the
dirt.
same, but in that there will still be like a lot of information.
But what if there's like water on that
There will
asteroid?
not be.
What? You never know. It's an
don't know.
element, right?
Mark my
H2O.
words. There's no water. We've got the water.
There-
We're the
there'd
blue
be-
planet.
Yeah, but
What if
We're
there's
the water
Mars?
holders.
What if there are little plants?
What if
we
it's
can't
like
see
a little
from Earth?
ET guy,
That's fine.
and he's like, "Can you hear me now? Good." And
Yeah.
then he's just floating away.
I don't know.
I'm picturing those little creatures in Toy Story. That's exactly what they're going to find on the surface of this asteroid.
That's the perfect B-roll footage of like the actual like, mission from NASA.
Done.
I don't know.
Fantastic.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I also think that if anybody's out there just naming a kid or a pet or something, Bennu is actually a really great asteroid name.
Yeah, you think that?
I do. Big thanks to Solbu, Roy W. Nash, and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category 5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category 5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Henry Bailey Brown.